this morning at 5:05.
Outside?
Inside.
Oh, yeah. I could
But
be
it was
outside
the
at 5:05.
earliest I think I've ever been on court.
I'm surprised by that.
Why?
No, I would have thought like you did some like middle of the night tournament or some crazy stuff like that. Did they ever do anything like that? Could you play 24 hours or is it closed for a while?
I mean, honestly, in my private club, like I could go
Yeah.
out there whenever I wanted to and turn the lights on. But that's it's not,
Hoity-toity, very
no,
fancy
it's
schmancy.
whatever, dude. It's not like that. But we're not open yet for business for summer yet because the courts are not ready because it's just it's still indoor season. So as the weather warms up, we'll be outside. But wrapping up the last couple of weeks of indoor tennis. Thank God. I can't wait to get outside.
Oh yeah, we've been getting teased by it. And it's supposed to be.
I know.
Tomorrow's supposed to be okay, and then I think Thursday and Friday it's supposed to be, Thursday and Friday is supposed to be pretty warm. But
60s for sure. I think Thursday.
Yeah, looking forward to the consistently good weather. Also looking forward, obviously with good weather is more baseball. And if you're getting into the swing of the baseball season, Bet Rivers and the Bullpen are giving you a bonus bet to give you a practice swing. Bettors in Ohio can get a $10 bonus bet to use on baseball when they enter the code, as you see there, ATB316 in the Bet Rivers app. If you don't have the Bet Rivers app, get it. If you have it, use it. Dustin's going to give you some great tennis picks along the way, and
Absolutely.
we got baseball for you also. Use the code ATB316. That code again, ATB316. Offer ends this Sunday, the 12th. Must be 21 and in Ohio. Eligible players only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. All right, Guardians lose yesterday in the first of a 3-game set to the Royals. Final score 4-2. Tanner Bybee didn't make it through 5, even though he only gave up 1 run and 6 base runners. He had a high pitch count. He was up to 87 pitches. The bullpen did not pitch well late. Jonathan India, the former Red, hit a home run late that broke the game open a little bit, made it 4-1. Stephen Kwan homered early, but the Guardians lose. I got to tell you, Dustin, I was out. I was at the game Sunday for the doubleheader. And, we were talking about the weather, and it was just brutal. It was so cold. But it was fun being at the ballpark. I wanted to sit in really good seats, so I got really good seats right by the dugouts. And if you have a chance, that perspective of sitting like right on the field, right by the dugouts is whenever you get closer to professional athletes, you see more. You understand more. We all watch on TV, whatever sport it is, and on some level it seems easier when you watch it on TV. But the closer you are to the action, there really is, I think, an added level of respect you have for the athletes in whatever sport it is. Because the closer you are to the action, the harder you realize, even if you know it rationally, when you get that close-up view, it's another level of respect because you see just how even a routine play in baseball is hard. Like it looks easy because they're so good at it. And it's the same thing in every sport. It really is amazing when you get that close-up view, and I wanted my son to have it, so we did it. But it was not fun sitting out there Sunday.
Yeah, I bet. But no, you're right. I mean, that perspective is something that, it's unique. They make it look so easy on TV. In fact, they make it look easy when you're up close and personal with them, especially the NBA guys. I mean, when you sit courtside, like when you really got your feet on the court and you're right there, those guys, I mean, I like to watch the warm-ups, when you get there that early just to see these guys. But no, it's a great perspective. Good point by you. Whenever you have that opportunity, if you do, I know those seats are not, affordable for everybody, but if you ever have that chance, I mean, it is special.
Yeah, and the good thing about Cleveland is the tickets are just so much more affordable. Now,
I was going to say, you couldn't have paid that much for those seats, especially considering the weather.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't crazy. I'm not saying it was cheap. It wasn't cheap. But compared to, like, those tickets at Wrigley Field or Yankee Stadium or something are 3, 4, maybe 10 times the price that I paid. I don't know exactly what it is. But basketball, too. I actually got a chance to sit on the court once. Didn't pay for those tickets. My man Brian Perino hooked me up with an extra seat once. And we were sitting there for a Cavs game when LeBron was here. And I remember Kevin Love almost falling in my lap on a play because we were right on the the baseline behind the basket. And that's just that is amazing. I when I watch basketball up close, I'm like, the court should be bigger. And you talk about warm-ups. Like in warm-ups to the NBA, the last guy on the bench, who somebody like me would probably call a scrub, is making every shot in practice.
They don't miss a shot.
Yeah. Like those guys are so good. And there's all these slappies out there that think they could beat a pro athlete or whatever. And it's funny. Especially I've seen lately where there's like these guys who say, "Oh, I could beat a WNBA player just because they're a good like rec league player," and then they get wrecked by the WNBA player. We've seen that happen a couple of times now. But anyway, Gabriel Arias gets hurt in the game yesterday. He hurt his hamstring. We'll see how he recovers. And my guess is he might end up on the injured list. You don't want to mess with a hamstring. And you could go on the 10-day IL, and if it responds quickly, you just miss 10 days. But one other thing that was big from yesterday, Dustin, is Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, that's the story from last night, I think.
Yeah. How cool is that? Becomes the all-time games played leader for Cleveland baseball in over 125 years.
I mean, he's quietly putting together the greatest career of a Cleveland Guardian / Indian ever.
He is. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
It's it doesn't get talked enough about nationally, but here locally, I mean, he's been here for like 14 years.
Yeah, and he's probably going to play here the rest of his career. Obviously, he signed another extension. He's the only player remaining, obviously, from the team that went to the World Series 10 years ago.
I mean, he's still a great player. Great player.
Oh, yeah.
And he will be probably a great player. What's he have, like 6 years left on his contract?
I believe so, yeah.
Something like that. I mean, he won't be the same player at the end of this contract. We know that. But I think there's still some run left in this young man that will cement him. I mean, there will be a very large statue of him outside of Progressive one day.
Yeah, he is 1,620 games for Cleveland. He is the only active player in all of baseball that is the career games played leader for their franchise.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, I mean, our franchise has been around for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like it's the Rockies or the Diamondbacks that have been.
No, it's not like a team that was an expansion team.
Right.
This team's been around for a long time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So it really does make it even more impressive. The first year technically for this franchise was 1901, when they were the team name was just Cleveland. They had no nickname. It was just Cleveland. Then in 1902, they were the Cleveland Blues. 1903 to 1905, they were the Napoleons. 1906 to 1914, they were the Naps. And then they became the Indians in 1915.
Was there a Spiders running there?
The Spiders was a different franchise.
Okay, it was not this franchise?
It was not connected to this franchise. They just were in Cleveland.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They were a separate franchise. They were terrible, and the year where they set the record for the worst team ever, their owner had just shipped out all their good players.
So they just had kind of a unique nickname that we liked.
Yeah, it was a cool nickname. But yeah, they were not the same franchise. It was a different franchise. It was a National League franchise. So, but Jose Ramirez, the all-time games play leader, and by the time he hangs them up, he's going to be. I mean, he may hold not every record in franchise history, but a lot of them.
Yeah,
a whole lot of them. He's certainly top 5 at least in almost and like 90% of categories already. So it's been a pretty remarkable run. Let's get some comments and we'll switch gears, talk some hoops and some Browns. Mr. Chairman of the Board says morning Bull and Fox with the emojis.
Good morning.
Joe K back. Good morning, Bull. Good morning, Dustin. Joe asks you, Dustin, what's your favorite surface to play on for tennis and favorite surface to watch on?
It's so funny. I love playing on a clay surface. It's just fun to slide around, and it kind of neutralizes everything. People who have big serves and big, fast ground strokes, it slows the game down. So like there's more longer rallies, and it's easier on my body. It's a softer surface. So I really enjoy playing on clay, whether it be hard true or true European clay. I love watching on like grass though. Wimbledon, summer season during June, there's only a month of tennis that's played on grass, which kind of sucks, but I get it. It's hard to keep the courts maintained. So
have you ever played on grass?
I played on it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
It might as well be a different sport. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The ball barely bounced. Now the grass that I played on was not cut to the length of Wimbledon, which is very, very short, like a putting green.
Yeah.
But the ball bounces very, very low. It doesn't really bounce above your knee. So you have to play. You have to bend.
Tough.
Like when you're done playing on grass, you feel like you just did a leg workout.
Yeah, that's weird.
But it's fun.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Big servers do very well on grass.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Sven Reeks' Juan Brito will be called up for Arias, I believe, Bull. I think you're right. That's not officially confirmed, but yeah, it should be. S.A. Spencer, thank you for knowing the facts. I don't know what that's about, but Creative Juice, Bob Feller, Jim Brown, LeBron James, Jose Ramirez, Cleveland sports Mount Rushmore, not debatable in my opinion. Can you debate any of that?
Give me the other ones. I mean, LeBron.
He said Bob Feller, Jim Brown, LeBron James, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, can you make a case for Myles Garrett? Maybe.
I mean, you will be able to.
I don't know who you'd take out, but Creative Juice, that's part of the reason why the Cubs and Yankees fans come to Cleveland to watch games. They can't get over how cheap everything is in comparison to their home state.
How good was Bob Feller?
One of the greatest pitchers ever. And he went to war too. I mean, I know he wasn't the only player at that time.
Almost all those guys went to war.
Yeah, I know, but but I'm saying
I'm not diminishing that at all. I'm just saying it's incredible that those guys were able to be professional athletes and also serve our country, and just amazing.
What's wild is he goes. So he came up to the big leagues in 36, right? 36, 37, he's in the big leagues. He's okay. Then in 1938, he's an all-star for the first time. In 1939, in 1939 through 1941, he finishes top 3 for the MVP, is an all-star every year, leads the league in a million different categories. Then in 42, 43, 44, and 45, in 45, he played a little, but for the most part, he missed 4 seasons in the prime of his career from ages 23 to 26. He did come back and pitch 9 games at the end of the 45 season. Otherwise, he didn't pitch for 4 years. And then in 46, 47, 48, he finishes 6th, 8th, and 23rd for MVP, leads the league in a million categories, is an all-star again in his late 20s. Had one in 49, he doesn't make the all-star game, but then in 50, he's an all-star again, and in 51, he finishes 5th for the MVP. And remember, he's a pitcher, so pitchers, there was no Cy Young at that point. So the fact that he's finishing that high for the MVP, I mean, from 39 to 51, the guy was amazing, and he missed 4 of those years due to his military service. So he's an all-time great pitcher, Hall of Famer, World Series champion. There's no way I'm taking him off the Mount Rushmore.
I certainly wouldn't take him off it. I just wanted to know, I didn't see the guy play. How great was he?
Yeah, it was incredible.
I think you laid it out pretty well.
Yeah. He was incredible. I had a chance to meet his wife. He passed away right before you and I started the show, about 6 months before. And I remember I used to be the MC for the charity.
For the ALS thing, right?
Yeah, the ALS thing. And I had a chance to sit with his wife, his widow, at one of those. I don't even know. I'm not sure if she's still alive, honestly, but she was very nice, and she was telling stories, and it was, she died, actually. Yeah, she died just 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But I remember her telling me some stories. It was pretty cool. She was really nice. Anyway, so I'm with him on that. I mean, maybe if we want to put on Myles Garrett someday, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you could take off. I mean, I guess if you're a diehard football fan, you may argue put him in over Jose, but I think you're going to lose that argument to me. But and West Fan Man says Otto Graham before Myles Garrett. He is a champ, but it's such a different era. But same thing with Bob Feller and Jim Brown, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Let's get to some. Speaking of football, we'll get to the Cavs in a minute. But off-season workouts start today, Dustin. And I know there's not a huge storyline from that. But what do veteran players get, if anything, from the start of off-season workouts today?
What do they get? Like,
yeah, or what does the team get? Like, what, like we always talk about guys that are going to be there, not going to be there, whatever. Myles Garrett never comes to these things, and usually, we don't care really. But what is the benefit? Is there a benefit for a guy? Unless you're trying to if you're a guy like Quinshon Judkins, I saw a video of him showing up this morning. We know Quinshon's on this team. He's not battling for a roster spot. So what is the benefit? Is it just
it's very, very important for young players to be here.
Okay.
It's important to familiarize yourself with your surroundings, people, your coaches, your teammates. Like, all of that is new for young players. It's a little less important for veteran players to be there, even though they can still get something out of it. And there are tons of veterans that still attend these workouts, even though they're not mandatory. I mean, the first couple of weeks is basically just like lifting and conditioning. There's no on-field coaching. There's no footballs allowed. You're just lifting, conditioning, rehabbing, things like that. And basically you're just kind of getting yourself back in shape and familiarizing yourself with your new teammates. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. So, and then they get into, some lighter stuff, the latter part of this where you can get some on-field learning. I mean, it's no contact. There's no pads. There's no helmets. Actually, I think they might wear helmets, but either way, there's no pads. A lot of walkthroughs, a lot of 7-on-7 stuff. It's not going to be hit. It's really big for quarterbacks. Really, I think it's important for quarterbacks specifically. If you're to name like one position, like all of our quarterbacks need to get these reps. They need to be watching film. They need to be learning a lot about this system, and it's a new system. It's going to be a little bit probably more complex than what Kevin Stefanski ran, because they're going to ask the quarterback to do quite a bit more. And then you get into the OTAs, which I think those are the most important part of the off-season workouts, because they're essentially practices where you're doing team drills and 7-on-7s and things like that. So you want most of your guys to be at those, even though not everybody will be there. Obviously, the media reacts to every throw and every drop pass or whatever, like it's the Super Bowl whenever they have a chance to see those OTA practices. Mm-hmm. But still, this is still just such an early portion, and early part of the decision-making process for the coaches in terms of getting guys ready to go to camp. But I think it is vital, especially vital for the young players.
Sizzle sends a message and says he wants the Browns to draft Jeremiyah Love. This has been a talking point lately. I as much as I like Quinshon Judkins, I am on board. If the Browns draft Jeremiyah Love, I have no problem with that. If they think, I know it's not necessarily a position in need, but I think you win by drafting great football players. I know Greg Cosell said he's Bijan Robinson. Like, he's the next great running back. Not good, great. And Greg Cosell takes all the emotion out of it, which I love. If the Browns want to do some super backfield, some, Jahmyr Gibbs, what's his name? I know, even though they just traded him now. Who's the other running back they had with Detroit? Oh, David Montgomery.
Yeah. If
they want to do I said this the other day, and I'm not saying, like, I think Quinshon Judkins is a good back. Who knows? And I don't even know if Love is going to be there at 6. But the Falcons drafted Tyler Algier, right? Good back. He just signed with the Cardinals. He's going to be their starting back this year. Good player. Very good player. The year after, they drafted Bijan Robinson because they were like, well, Algier's a nice back. This guy is an all-time back. Now, they haven't won a ton of games, but it hasn't been because of Bijan Robinson. He's been great.
Bijan Robinson also catches about 7 passes a game.
Yeah, and Jeremiyah Love is the same type of player, right? What do you think about the possibility of drafting him?
I'm with you. I find it hard to say no to good football players.
Right.
Like, this guy is truly one of a kind, and he is. If they drafted him, I might be like, I don't know that we needed a running back because we feel like we've got a pretty darn good one in Quinshon Judkins. But if this guy comes in and he's anything close to Bijan Robinson, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I'll find room for Quinshon. I'll find room for both of them.
And the best way for a young quarterback, if it's going to be Shedeur Sanders, to have success is to have a lights-out running game. And with that combo, they'd have a lights-out running game.
And somebody to check down to that is going to get you maybe 5-10 yards. Pick up those extra yards you need to get a first down on third down. Keep the chains moving, keep drives alive. As a young player, those little wins, right? Like just a third and 3. Check down to Quinshawn or check down to Love, get a first down. All of a sudden, keep the chains moving. Like those are huge opportunities for young players, and to have that support, I think, is big.
Yeah. All right. Well, draft is 16 days away. Obviously, plenty more talk coming up about that. Cavs win last night. They win 142-126 over Memphis.
Slow start.
Yeah. They were down 36-24 at the end of the first quarter, but they put up 44 in the second quarter and 41 in the fourth quarter. No Donovan Mitchell, no James Harden in this one. Dennis Schroeder led the way with 22 points, 5 boards, and 11 assists. He had a plus 16.
Is Max Strus's hand okay? Because I saw him bang it the one time, and I'm like, I don't know if there was anything to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, he didn't really leave the game, but he banged it, and Doherty was talking about it. And he's like, keep an eye on that. So I was wondering if there was anything to that.
We'll follow up on that, but the Cavs, 3 games to go.
Yep,
they're a game behind the Knicks. I know most people would rather them finish behind the Knicks. They'll play Atlanta, who lost to the Knicks yesterday. They play Atlanta tomorrow at home, and then Friday in Atlanta, and then Sunday they host Washington, who's just absolutely awful. The Knicks, who do they have in their final 3 games? Although it's hard to say, what the motivation of these teams are. I don't know if the Knicks would rather be the 4 seed too. The Knicks host Boston on Thursday. They host Toronto on Friday, and they host Charlotte on Sunday, so they don't go back on the road, so we'll see. So the standings as of now, the Cavs are the 4 seed, again, 1 game back of of New York. Detroit will be the 1 seed, Boston will be the 2. The 5 seed is probably going to be Atlanta. They're a game and a half up on Toronto and 2 games up on Philly, Charlotte, and Orlando. So there's still a battle there. I mean, 6 through 10 in the East is within a game and a half of each other. Really, 6 through 9 especially. Any of those teams, Orlando, Charlotte, Philly, and Toronto, one of those 4 teams is going to not be in the play-in. So those teams are motivated. And Atlanta has some motivation. So I do think the Cavs are going to finish 4th, and that's probably best. But I don't think they're going to do it on purpose, but I do think they, in the end, are going to finish 4th. What do you think?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I think that makes me very happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy that the Knicks beat the Hawks last night.
Oh, yeah. So because you didn't want them to lose.
I want them to stay ahead of us.
Joe says the Knicks will lose to Boston and get a 4th. But the Cavs could lose to Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's got motivation. They're the 5 seed. They probably don't want to drop to 6 and certainly don't want to drop into the play-in, which they could. It's not likely, but they could. I mean, they're only 2 games up on Philly, Charlotte, and Orlando. So if Atlanta lost out or something, they'd probably end up in the play-in, and they don't want to do that. So they have some probably more motivation than the Cavs at this point. So we'll see. That'll be interesting. And the Cavs have struggled with Atlanta at times. So there you go. All right, a couple of final things. In women's basketball, Angel Reese traded for 2 first-round picks. The always polarizing Angel Reese. And then in men's basketball, Michigan beats UConn. Were you rooting for Michigan? Or no?
No, of course I was rooting for UConn, which is hard to do because Dan Hurley is
I hate him.
Such an arrogant son of a gun. He wins, but Michigan's got 4 dudes that are going to be first-round picks.
Yeah, I'm bitter. St. John's beat UConn 2 out of 3 times this year. They lost that heartbreaker to Duke though in the Sweet 16. That was a bummer. Anyway,
St. John's could have won this whole tournament.
They could have, but they were 1 shooter. They were 1 shooter away.
I gotta tell you though, for some reason, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
This was the least amount I've watched at the NCAA tournament in my life.
I'm saying once St. John's lost, I barely watched any.
Maybe it was because Ohio State lost in the first round in a heartbreaking fashion.
Yeah, but it's not like they've made a ton of deep runs.
No, I know. But if they would have gone another round, I would have been invested for at least another round.
Right.
And, I was in Florida and the Miami Open was going on. So I was watching a lot more tennis during that trip. And I don't know. I just didn't have a lot of interest in it. And
now they're expanding
and
the
by
field,
the way,
which is
I
stupid.
do my one bracket, which I picked Florida to win the whole thing. And they were bounced, I think, in the second round or whatever it was to Iowa. So when they were out, I was like, shit, I got nothing to root for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know if we're in the minority. I think people were still into it, but I don't know.
No, people are into it. It's still a huge ratings getter. I mean, in terms of people are watching.
Yeah.
I never know which network it's on. It's on True TV or TBS or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it's still a great product. I'm not saying it's a down product. I'm saying for whatever reason this year I personally did not watch as much as I have in years past.
And congratulations, the only sport we haven't hit on. Congratulations to the Buffalo Sabres. Ended the second longest drought currently in the four pro sports of not making the playoffs. I think it's been 14 years. And in hockey and basketball, you should never go a decade plus without making the playoffs because so many teams make it. I can understand in football and baseball because it's not as high a percentage of team. But in basketball and hockey, that's crazy. But the Sabres ended that drought. You know which team has the longest playoff drought right now of the four sports?
You're asking me which team out of all the sports has
four
the longest,
sports? Yeah.
Longest
I will tell you.
drought?
I'll give you a clue. It's a football team, and it's not the Browns. Believe it or not.
Well, I know the Browns made it when Baker was here.
Yeah.
I'll say no. I was going to say the Raiders, but it's not the Raiders because they made the playoffs in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is a really good question. Not the Dolphins. Dolphins made it recently. They lost to the Steelers. Remember that one with their backup, and they made it a couple of times. Who am I missing here? I'm just trying to think right now. Bad teams.
This is the only team that has not made the playoffs since you and I went on the air. They have not been. The last time they went to the playoffs was 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell
me.
I don't want you to tell me.
Because as soon as I tell you, you're going to be like, oh, my God, how did I not remember that?
Just tell me.
The New York Jets.
Oh, yeah. But in 2010, they go to the AFC title game?
Yeah. I think they went to back-to-back.
They did.
The title games with Mark Sanchez, I believe.
Yep.
They were 11-5 in 2010. They've had one winning record since then. They were actually 10-6 in 2015, but they didn't make the playoffs. And since then, they've been awful. They haven't won more than 7 games since 2015. So there you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back live in the bullpen on Thursday. Dustin and I will both be on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show tomorrow. And so there you go. And
by the way, how you feeling? I forgot to ask you to start the show.
I feel great.
Okay, good.
I feel great. I'm doing good. I weighed in yet. I'm only weighing in once a week now. My doctor told me stop doing it every day.
Hey, you obsess over it if you do it.
I know. So I weighed in yesterday. I'm down 43 pounds in 35 days. So I got 17 and a half pounds or 18 pounds I got to lose to be under 300 for the first time.
Yes.
Since last decade. So that'll be good. So I'm feeling good. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks to Levi. Thanks to Alex for producing. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the bullpen. Oh, real quick, I forgot to tell you something. How do I forget this? Because we just recorded ours recently. If you're looking for a betting angle, check out the Top Picks news feed in your BetRivers app. The BetRivers banner news feed is filled with picks from BetRivers Network personalities, including Dustin and I, who just recorded our picks today.
I dropped you a tennis pick for tomorrow. Monte Carlo, check it out.
There you go. He's got a tennis pick. I got a baseball pick involving the Guardians. And more handicappers as well to give you expert insights. Tap the Top Picks icon in your BetRivers app to get the latest tips. All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Later.